So I saw this disturbing story. It says Turkish student at Tufts University detained. Video shows masked people handcuffing her. This is at Tufts, an international student, and we're just gonna watch the footage together here. So you'll notice early on the officers aren't wearing masks. So there's a guy there, a guy here, right? And there's a student right there. They're going to put on masks and arrest her, as you'll see. So if you saw right there, this woman, she wasn't wearing a mask, and then she just threw a mask on, and that's one of the questions, like, why are we putting masks on? You guys can see that, right? Why do we have to throw masks on? Like, what are you afraid of, that we see who you are? Got sunglasses and put a mask on. And then the guys put masks on as well as they arrest her. I think they're taking her backpack away. Yeah.
Yep. We're going to take it right to the car. Come on. I'll show you everything. Okay. Sure. Yep. You're fine.
I understand you're scary. Where the police? Where the police?
Yeah, you don't look like it. Why are you hiding your faces?
So you heard there's a guy off screen asking, like, well, what's going on? Why are you hiding your faces? You can hear it again. I think this one guy didn't have a mask. I think everyone else did. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 masked people, and then one maybe unmasked. And someone asked, why are you hiding your faces? You can hear it again here.
Yep. You're fine.
I understand you're scary. Where the police? Where the police?
Yeah, you don't look like it. Why are you hiding your faces? Why are you hiding your faces?
Yep. Take everything. Yep. I'm going to take it.
Yeah, we're going to take it.
I see some faces here. How do I know this is a police? It's like a thing. It looks like it.
And then it looks like they're throwing her into it. These are unmarked cars there. So it's I don't think I see any markings. And if you guys see markings on this car, you can let me know. But these are all plainclothes officers. So again, the headline was Turkish student at Tufts University detained. Video shows masked people handcuffing her. When the story first broke just a few hours ago, her lawyer doesn't know where her whereabouts were. I believe it's in Louisiana because it was later released. Because if you don't know, Tufts is in Massachusetts. We'll read through some of the details of the stuff. It says a Turkish national and doctoral student, so PhD student at Tufts University, has been detained by Department of Homeland Security without explanation. Her lawyer said Rumeza Ozturk, 30, had left home in Somerville on Tuesday night when she was stopped by a lawyer. She was stopped. A lawyer, Masha Khanbabe, said in a petition filed in Boston federal court. And then this is the video. The Associated Press found it, right? So some of the things they said were the police. Why are you hiding your faces? Also, it says we are unaware of her whereabouts and have not been able to contact her. No charges have been filed against Rumeza to date that we are aware of. Obviously, this is very disturbing. For any of this kind of stuff, you would want to know what am I being charged with, etc. Later, I think my understanding of it is, and if this is indeed the case, that they're saying that she was part of a group of students, like 5 students that wrote an opinion piece in the student newspaper. That's what they're going after. Now there might be more that we might find out about later, but that's kind of what I've heard. We'll see if there's anything else that it says here. Neighbors said they were rattled by the arrest, which happened at 5:30 p.m. on a residential block. It looked like a kidnapping, and I would agree with that, right? And this is something that is worrisome because there might be people who will frankly just pretend like they're ICE agents and do this kind of thing. It's very troublesome. It looked like a kidnapping, and that was someone who witnessed it. They approached her and started grabbing her with their faces covered. They're covering their faces. They're unmarked vehicles. The university president said the university has no pre-knowledge of this incident and did not share any information with federal authorities prior to the event. Kumar did not name the student, but university spokesperson Patrick Collins confirmed that Ozturk is a doctoral student in the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. So there's a representative local, so it'd be Representative Ayanna Presley called the arrest a, quote, horrifying violation of Rumensi's constitutional rights to due process and free speech, right? Due process, something we've been talking about with the Trump people. They just want to arrest people, throw people on planes as fast as they can, regardless of someone's charges or what they think. Due process is like you give someone a chance to defend themselves. Make sure you ID the right person, and make sure you have all the evidence. Make sure a judge looks at this kind of stuff, right? Make sure they have a right to an attorney. These kind of things. Just do things the right way. From the representative says she must be immediately released. Presley said in a statement, "We won't stand by while the Trump administration continues to abduct students with legal status and attack our fundamental freedoms." Massachusetts Attorney General said called the video disturbing. Based on what we now know, it is alarming that federal administration chose to ambush and detain her, apparently targeting a law-abiding individual because of her political views. This isn't public safety. It's intimidation that will and should be closely scrutinized. Court says not to remove Ozturk from the state, but she is listed as being held in Louisiana. So again, they try to move as quickly as possible. U.S. District Judge Adira Tawani issued an order giving the government until Friday to answer why Ozturk was being detained. Right, so you want to know what the charges are. Tawani also ordered that Ozturk not be moved outside District of Massachusetts within 48 hours advance notice. But as of Wednesday evening, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement online detainee locator system listed her as being held at the South Louisiana ICE Processing Center in Basile, Louisiana. It says here, DHS spokesperson confirmed Ozturk detention and the termination of her visa. So I guess they just canceled her visa. DHS and ICE, so Immigration and Customs Enforcement investigations, found Ozturk engaged in activities in support of Hamas, a foreign terrorist organization that relishes in the killing of Americans. A visa is a privilege, not a right. Glorifying and supporting terrorists who kill Americans in grounds for visa issuance to be terminated. This is common sense security. That's what there's ICE is saying. So this would be the situation where show us the evidence that they're talking about. Now, I guess what they're doing is they're going to refer that she was part of, it says, one of 4 students who wrote an op-ed piece. It says here, Ozturk co-wrote an article criticizing university response to Palestinian issues. Ozturk was one of 4 students at last March who wrote an op-ed in Tufts Daily criticizing university response to its community union senate, passing resolutions that demanded Tufts acknowledge the Palestinian genocide, disclose its investments, and divest companies with direct or indirect ties to Israel. So they're going after people who want the organizations like have an opinion of that you should acknowledge that there's a genocide going on. I guess that's just what it says here. Friends said Ozturk was otherwise closely involved in protests against Israel. Was not otherwise closely involved. She just wrote the op-ed, so something that you write. But after the piece was published, her name, photo, and work history were featured by Canary Mission, a website that says it documents people who promote, quote, hatred of USA, Israel, and Jews on North American college campuses. The op-ed was only cited of anti-Israel activism by Ozturk. So because she had an opinion, I guess that's why. But this, again, you'd want to see what the charges are. There was a protest. You guys can see students gathered. There's a couple of things I want to mention with this stuff. The Trump people are getting more aggressive with these kind of things. There was actually, you guys know I'm here in Korea. Actually, let me just refresh this here. There was a story that hit our news of a it was a permanent resident. Why it's not coming up here? There it is. Korean student faces deportation after pro-Palestinian protests at Columbia, right? This particular person, so this is another person, I think they were like a green card holder in USA for like a long time, you know, like over 10 years kind of thing, like since he was a kid. And you know, hasn't really lived in Korea, and is already now a university student, and they're looking at possible deportation. You're going to get a lot of these things, you know, whether or not, you know, this is where you'd want to have a fair trial and charges and this kind of stuff. I think whether or not these people are doing or saying things that ICE accuses them of, right? I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know. I'd want to see the charges. I'll just say this. I have mentioned these movies before, because this is 1987. Had a similar situation here in Korea where, frankly, students would get hurt or arrested, and ultimately people rose up against tyranny. That's the best way to say it, against authoritarian regime, and also see 12/12 today, because I've seen this kind of stuff before. I'll just tell you this: 1987. This is about a military coup. 12/12 today is in 1987. The start of the movie is that there's a student death because they basically were arrested, and interrogated. That's the beginning of the movie, and the government tries to cover it up. We're in kind of a similar situation. No one's died yet in terms of students or something like that, but we're in a similar situation because you never know what the Trump people are up to. We just know they're trying to do this stuff as quickly as possible. It is very disturbing, I mean, to say the least, of course, and just how quickly they're doing these things, and sort of why they're going after said people, like, oh, you go to a protest, or oh, you know, write a student thing. I mean, if there are other activities, so like I said, I'm being fair, that we don't know about, please show us the evidence of said things to, you know, accuse these students of you know, doing this stuff, like, because this would be the question: is it illegal to have an opinion about something, right? So, you know, it is what it is. A lot of the things that we're talking about also too, it has to do with money. So I know the students have been saying, hey, you know, if you're a university, don't invest in companies that are part of the war essentially. And you know, that's an opinion. Whether or not that's considered an opinion that you're you know, not allowed to have, I'll you know, we'll let the courts decide on that. You know, my opinion, and it's kind of crazy, like say in the Elon Musk situation where he says, I'm all about free speech all day, every day, but clearly not. These people are clearly not about that, as you just saw. So this is actually, you know, quite disturbing to talk about. It's very similar to the situation that happened at Brown. I made a video about that before, where the person had, you know, like photos on her phone that she went to a funeral, and you know, there might be other stuff in that, but that's what was at least reported. And it was kind of the same situation where the ICE wouldn't really communicate charges, or, you know, talk to a lawyer, that kind of stuff. They would just throw on a plane and you know, deport her as soon as possible. So I don't know if that's planning a similar situation with this student, and we'll keep tracking the story. So I just wanted to go over it with you guys and make you aware of what's going on in USA, and I'll catch you all in the next video.